Hey there, Earthlings. Thanks for tuning in to the Barardo Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Barardo, where we talk about health, happiness, and anything else that's important to us humans. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast by visiting thebarardo.com or just click the little subscribe button wherever you listen to the podcast. And be sure to check out my Instagram at thebarardo for all the latest videos and content. Thanks so much and enjoy the episode.
You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
I did. It's recording as we speak. I'm a fucking pro now.
Okay.
You know, last time, well, not last time, but a few times we've done this podcast. Yeah, I forget to, hit record but now I'm like I have sponsors. I'm a pro now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of which, let's thank our sponsors of today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Golden Ratio, drinkgoldenratio.com to check out all their great coffee flavors they have. They slow roast actually all their coffee beans, so it drinks more like a tea than a coffee. Nice and smooth. It's 5 times less acidic than your normal coffee brands. And the best part is no coffee breath, won't stain your teeth, but it's got the same amount of caffeine. drinkgoldenratio.com. Use the code THEBARARDO, and you will get a huge discount at checkout. Tons of flavors. Try them all out. drinkgoldenratio.com. So, appreciate you.
Okay, Sammy Sosa.
I'm surprised you know who that is. Is it only because he's Dominican?
Yeah.
Nice. But ladies and gentlemen, I am super happy to announce that we have my wife, someone that I love very much, back on the show. Miss Brenda Barardo. Hola, mi vida.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias.
Remember, un poquito. A little closer.
Oh.
There you go.
I mean,
Or be louder, I don't want to have to edit this shit in post. But I wanted to have you on because there's been such a nightmare to get you on this fucking show.
and we live together.
And we live together. But everyone loves hearing your voice. That's, this is what I deal with.
That makes everyone else.
I mean, people like watching you and listening to you than watching me and listening to me.
I highly doubt that, but thank you.
Yeah. But a lot has happened the last, obviously, 18 months. But we've talked numerous times about the pandemic, and things are open up now, so I don't want to even dip into that. I'm not worried about that. But I did want to talk about how we kind of traveled recently and how interesting that is. And also your massive surprise to me for my birthday.
Mm.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stressful, but cool.
Very. So, I had Mom on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was as a surprise. She came and like on my actual birthday week, I think it was like the Wednesday before or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just walked down and you just surprised me. You're like, hey, I need help in the garage. Come check this out. And I was like upstairs working. I was like, how'd it go?
I said, can you go? Well, I was already winded from running up the stairs.
Right.
So I used that as my leverage, if you will. I
Mhm.
came outside, I'd be like, I need your help in the garage. I like almost killed myself.
Yeah.
And you're like, right now, you can't wait 15 minutes. And in my head, I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to leave your mom outside in the hot for 15 minutes.
Right.
And I was like, no, I need you right now. And then I grabbed you some shorts because,
I was naked.
yeah, I was originally going to bring her into the house, but then I'm not a good liar. So I wouldn't know how to maneuver that to where you would have pants on and I would have her in the house.
Smart.
Anyway, that was a whole nother stress. But
If only I had pants on, it would have made things so much easier. But
Well, no.
I like being naked.
yeah, I mean, it was still hard. It's hard to surprise you.
Yeah.
But to rewind
Mm-hmm.
the planning of that because,
Yeah. Walk us through how that happened.
well, as I mentioned, I'm not a good liar.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, in order for me not to spill the tea, I was almost avoiding you.
You were avoiding me a little bit.
And it was like any questions you asked, I was just dodging left and right.
Well, I figured you were doing something, yeah, but I wasn't going to pry too much.
Well, a lot of times you do because,
Right.
you know, you're mostly the planner and I'm not that girl. But, you know, you were really bummed when she said that originally she couldn't come. And I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to let that go by.
Yeah.
Like, she's already far away. She hasn't been able to be here for too many of the holidays. So I figure your birthday would be a perfect time to, you know, bring her out.
Yeah.
So I told her, I think like the next day after she said that, and I was like, listen, he was really bummed that you can't come. And what the hell do I get? You know, you have everything. Like, the fuck else am I going to get you that, you know, I haven't done before? So
Right.
told her, I was like, I'm flying your fucking ass out here.
Nice.
Just like that. And I was like, I'll pay for half your ticket. And then we looked for flights. It was a pain in the ass. They were so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, if we wanted her to come on Friday, it was like $200 more round trip. So we had to have her come on Wednesday. She had to travel all day long in order to, you know, get a good rate.
Yeah.
And then she left Sunday really early also because if she left in the afternoon, it was like another $100. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy. And this is like right, I guess maybe because the pandemic started,
Well,
you know,
they're
ending a little
opening
bit.
back up,
right.
and I think the flights are just, they're not doing like that every other seat type of thing. I don't know what it is. But yeah, they were expensive. And then we figured that out. She booked it literally within 2 days. And I was like, all right, check.
Mm-hmm.
Gift made.
Smart.
Now the next hurdle was getting her here since we now have one car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell story can I come up with to leave the house
Yeah.
at 3 p.m. in the afternoon besides saying I'm going to Target and then I have to explain what the hell I'm getting at Target and it's just the whole thing. So she was like, I'll just get her partner to pick her up.
Yeah.
Grab a couple drinks.
Her business partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pick her up and bring her, blah, blah. And I was like, perfect. That works out great. Because then that's one less lie I have to pull out of my butt.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah. So then, obviously, you know, she started drinking a little bit, started forgetting the plan.
Oh, no.
And I was like, just tell me when you're 5 minutes away.
Mm.
And I will open the garage and let you in. I got a bunch of text messages in that time frame. So wait, what do you want me to do? I'm like, just come to the garage. So I opened it and then I was waiting for her. I set up a video. I set up my phone for video, which I was pretty proud of myself because that's usually not my forte.
Yeah, you did a good job with that.
Yeah, I got it on video. You might have to make your own. I tried. I'm already mad. And it's been a few weeks. So, yeah, that was that.
But it was great.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
You were very surprised. I couldn't tell if you were surprised happy or surprised like, oh.
Maybe a little bit of both. No, it was definitely a good surprise. It was one of those where like I totally was not expecting it, and I was faking myself out to where like for a couple weeks leading up to it, I was like, it's my birthday. I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to hang out with anybody. I'd rather just stay home, cook on our, pizza oven, and just, have a couple glasses of wine outside and just relax. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And then, she showed up and I was like, and I was surprised, but then I was like, oh my God. And then immediately I started thinking, well, I guess I can't do anything that I wanted to do. I just wanted to like be naked the whole weekend and not do nothing. But then as, after about 10 seconds, it soaked in and I was like, I was so happy to see her, and I haven't seen her in what feels like forever. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I
mean, she wanted to go bigger and I was like, well,
yeah.
Then you started giving me those chill vibes and I was like, well, he wants to kind of keep it low key. And then, yeah, I was like, listen, we'll do dinner. You can invite David there. I just didn't want, a bunch of people coming to the house.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to coordinate that because there's no way of surprising you having people come over. Like,
yeah.
I would rather just take you somewhere, have everybody already be there.
Yeah.
It was just easier that way.
And that was great. And then one of those days we spent at one of our favorite spots, and you
Sure.
surprised me with that, and had Scott and his wife, which was my best man, probably my best friend, one of my best friends, and then my Uncle David and my aunt, and then of course my mother.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great. It was great. You did a great job.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I was so happy after that.
Yeah, I was satisfied. Where I was like, I'm done with this shit now.
Yeah. Like I don't have to hold in another secret.
That's right. No, you did great, baby.
Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Proud of you.
Hmm.
But yeah, you did a great job. So I was very happy with my birthday. And 36 it's weird, right? Like that's a weird number.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel that I had to do anything. Like I didn't really want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I figure with the timing, it was, a good. Now next year, it'll be whatever. And
37. Yeah, no one cares.
38, 39. Well, maybe
Right.
39, R.I.P. 30s.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's true.
R.I.P. those 30s.
Oh my.
Mm,
Hopefully that trend will still be going around.
probably not. I
Yeah.
don't keep up. I'm always way behind.
But now it's been even more interesting to get out and hang out with people. My birthday was like one of the few times prior to having people outside over here like our neighbors and just cooking on the oven. I haven't really hung out with people that much. So it's kind of cool to get back into the swing of things. And now that we're vaxxed up, that helps.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you didn't react very well to shot number 2. Shot number 1, you just had what? A sore arm?
Yeah, my arm hurt really bad, and
Yeah.
I couldn't lift it for like 2 days.
Yeah.
But this second dose really took me for a spin. That was bad.
Yeah, what happened on your second dose?
Well,
The day of, it was like 4 p.m. we got it.
yeah.
You were fine that night, right?
Yeah, I was fine, and then I woke up at like 3:30, and I had the chills, and I was like, fuck, I have a fever. Like, it was that you get uncomfortable and you can't stop shaking, but
Sure.
like I kept trying to move, and like I would stretch. It was just the weirdest feeling, and it was so unsettling. It was really bad. And then I was just up, and then I like went to the bathroom, and I just felt freezing. And then that was it. I checked my temperature like after I was awake for a little while. 101.4.
Wow.
And then my head started pounding. And that was it. All day long, consistently at that headache. My arm progressively started hurting even more. It was not good.
Not good.
It was not pleasant at all. I was so tired. So tired.
Yeah.
It was a miserable time.
Yeah, and then, next day you were good.
Well,
You were weak a little bit from not eating and stuff, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, and I couldn't eat anything, and every time I took a fucking Tylenol, I
threw up. Yeah. Yeah, that was rough. And then, I didn't have any symptoms. My arm was not really that sore. I worked out the next day.
I
don't have any
lived off
symptoms.
of crackers. I ate an apple,
Yeah.
some rice. Wah.
Yeah, it's funky. Sorry you
Mm.
felt that way.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I was just weak. I did have a little bit of a low-grade fever in the middle of the day. So
Yesterday?
I laid down on the couch. After I did some of that cleaning, I think that was too much.
Yeah.
So then I laid down. And then I was fine. I didn't feel anything after that.
Mm.
I took a Tylenol in the middle of the day, though.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, today was a rough day too. It was long. We had a couple friends over. We fired up the pizza oven. Just being outside. It was hot. Ooh, it was hot.
It's definitely summer in Florida.
Yeah. But I wanted to get you on the show because I don't want it to be like July by the time we talk about my birthday and Memorial Day and us leaving and the vaccine and all that. So a lot's going on. It's exciting because, shit's opening up. It's fucking great.
Well, we're one step closer to normalcy.
Yeah, you think things are going to change back to normal, or you think, are people going to be wearing masks for the next couple months? Like what?
From what I've seen in these past few weeks,
Yeah.
I think it's going to go full swing back to normal.
Yeah.
Just even Memorial Day weekend, I noticed that, on the plane, there's still whether you're vaxxed or not, they want you wearing masks the whole flight.
That's right.
I mean, even going through, you going through the airport, you have to still wear your mask. I don't know if.
Yeah, and I mean, people are traveling, right? So much too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming from all different walks of life, and you're interacting with hundreds of people. So yeah, that would be the place, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like I've gotten used to the pandemic way.
Right.
So I feel like it's hard for me to shake that off, you know?
Yeah.
Like after you get into a habit of something, like I feel weird not wearing a mask now.
Yeah. I can
Like
see
even
that.
when we went to, Miami, like going through the airport, I was still, making sure now that we've traveled so much, I feel like we now know how to pack the most efficient way.
Right.
So I put everything in a bag, like nothing is touching anything, like outside of my bag.
Right.
So it's like I just pull, I'm out. I don't
And boom.
touch anything. Just people are gross, like we talked about last time.
Yeah.
And it's not even about the pandemic at that point. It's just people are gross.
Yeah. People are just disgusting either way. Yeah. I mean, even just now, like when we go to restaurants or, we go out in public or whatever, just certain things that companies are doing to like make us comfortable to be clean. Like, oh, we just cleaned the tables and we just did this and we just did that. And, don't worry, we triple cleaned the bathrooms. Like, what were you doing before the pandemic?
They weren't doing anything.
Right. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of enjoy having this virus because it keeps people on edge.
Yeah.
Because, before COVID, there was Zika and.
Funny story about Zika. When I went to the doctor the other day, they had a poster on the bathroom door on the back of it.
Right.
About Zika, and I'm like, that has passed.
Yeah.
Why is that still there?
But they still haven't, it's not in the U.S., but they still haven't found a cure for it. So in some countries around the world, Zika is still a thing.
Very odd.
Yeah. Again, it's like if it's not Zika or if it's not another coronavirus, I mean, this is like what, the 4th or 5th coronavirus that we've had. Most of them come from China, but, and all of them come from animals. Studies have shown. I mean, it could be something else, next time, right? So I don't know. Should we consider avoiding all the things that we have to do to make sure that we don't get something like this again? And then getting back to normal, is that going to increase our chances of having another virus? Probably. We're just gross people, you know? So I don't know.
Humans are just
Yeah. Yeah, we're gross.
some are.
And it's nice to be inside. I think a lot of people are getting used to being inside. I mean, it's definitely great to interact with people and be with friends, and that's all awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good that, this coming from a guy that his whole life is depending on people gathering in large groups. Like that's my job. That's what I want. But it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not doing those things.
Every now and then, obviously, you kind of need a little bit of socializing, but
Yeah, you gotta have it.
at the same time, when I do go out now, it's like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. I mean, even just getting in the car and driving, and on the way to your destination, you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Can't believe I'm leaving.
Yeah.
My perfectly fine, safe home.
Yeah, but it's nice to get out.
Yeah.
Change the pace a little bit.
But don't you feel like now people, when they go out, they're acting more irresponsible than they were before the pandemic?
No, I just feel like we're noticing it more.
Yeah. Because we haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was just like so day to day that it was like, ugh,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's almost like
But
trivial,
now-
like it's supposed to happen. Yeah.
But then like when you don't do it for so long and then you see it again, you're like, what the actual fuck?
Right. It's like drinking for a long period of time and then stopping for like a month. That next beer that you
And
have,
you're drunk. You're going to feel it.
you're going to feel that.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like people have always been stupid. It's just a matter of if you notice it more or not.
That's right.
And personally, I think that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I feel like it's going to get back to normal. I mean, we're in Florida, so here, again, going back to Memorial Day and going to Miami, it's getting pretty back to normal, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were in Miami. I had a work event that I had to host, and we went down there, and we spent like 3 or 4 days down there. and we flew from Tampa to Miami. That was pretty rough because just getting to the airport alone and then going into like the Miami airport, which is a shit show.
Let's talk about that. Never again
Yeah.
will I ever fly into the Miami airport.
Yeah.
It actually
Well, it's been a while because normally we do Fort Lauderdale.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because funny story about this Miami airport. It gave me PTSD to be there, if I'm being honest. And here's why. When I was younger, I don't remember how old I was, but me and my mom traveled by ourselves to go to Dominican Republic. We would go every Christmas. And this one particular Christmas, and this was like back before they put wheels on the fucking suitcases. So, you know, you could get that metal cart and stack your luggage on there and pull it.
Sure.
My mom's not the best packer. Okay. She packs a lot. And every time that we went to Dominican Republic, she would pack all of my old clothes to give to my younger cousins in Dominican Republic. We would come back with empty suitcases, but on the way there, it was a goddamn nightmare. We would have like 6 suitcases for the 2 of us.
Yeah.
So like she would be, and back then they didn't give you like a limit on carry-ons.
Sure.
So she would have 2 bags. I would have to have 2 bags. And of course I had to have a baby doll and my stuff, whatever. Well, one time we flew from Orlando to Miami. And as you know, or people that might know, the Miami airport's like miles long.
Yeah, it's crazy long.
Well, they didn't say that they changed our gate, like for our flight.
Oh.
So we were sitting at one gate. No one was there, which was odd because why wouldn't there be anyone on the flight?
Right.
We're sitting there. And later on, I guess my mom got it. I don't know how they notified people back then. I think she got a call.
Like an intercom or something?
Something. And my mom said that we were at the wrong gate, that they had changed it from the original thing. When I tell you, me and my mom had to run from one end of the airport to the other
Nightmare.
with bags that we couldn't roll.
Yeah.
Just absolute night. We
Sprinting.
didn't even make it on time, and we missed our flight.
It's
We
like
had
a
to sit in that airport for like 3 hours.
It's like a scene from Home Alone when they were trying to run. all in,
Exactly
yeah.
like that.
And this was before they had, I don't think they had the tram back then either.
No.
You can go gate to gate.
No.
Yeah. And even they have that now, but even still, I mean, we didn't take that only because I just hate taking that, especially because you're kind of close, but there's so many stops.
Yeah, it takes you forever to
Yeah, it takes you forever. So I'd rather just, power through and
But
walk
honestly, I think it took us longer to walk from when we got off our plane to the actual rental car than the actual flight.
Yeah. Yeah, that rental car was a nightmare because they take the rental car off the, off property, like a lot of airports do. But I mean, most airports that are nice, like Tampa is a great example because Tampa's just the best airport. You get your rental downstairs. That's it. It's easy. You don't have to fucking take a trolley or you don't have to go off site. Nothing like that.
Yeah. But Miami Airport hasn't been updated since
No.
like the 90s.
Well, it's because they can't. I mean, there's so many damn immigrants and people from overseas that go to that airport. Like if they stop one day or cut it back a little bit, it's like Atlanta. Like you can't do work all the time. You have to like slowly do things. Takes 10 years to make an upgrade to that. Yeah. And Miami's always been busy. That's what's so weird about like places like Miami and Orlando. You're always busy. So it's never not going to be busy. You need to plan 10 years in advance. Like Orlando, they're building I-4 now. Okay. You're building it now, but by the time you get done with it, there's going to be 10 more million people that are moving to Orlando.
New problems with it.
Yeah, so now it's going to be just as slow. Like they're building it to satisfy the current population in Orlando. That's idiotic. You need to build it for another 10 million people. That's what you need to build it for. And Tampa's a good example because that airport is just seamless because they built that airport to perfection before anybody moved here. 8 years ago, it was an awesome airport.
And even right now, they're already upgrading
Yeah.
the departures and arrivals.
Especially after the Super Bowl, they're getting a lot more tourists. And yeah, it's Clearwater and St. Pete has been like voted the #1 beach 3 years in a row or something like that. So yeah, they just, people got to get their shit together. And, especially with the pandemic, there was 18 months of no one really doing anything. That's the time to renovate and do things. Like we had a couple of roads in the Tampa area that took advantage of it.
Yeah, they finished it
yeah.
super quick.
And completed it because no one was on the road. I don't know. Yeah, I do hope things get back to normal. It is fun to travel and to go outside and do things for sure.
Yeah, I would like to not have to wear a mask on a plane.
Yeah.
That's already enough of a hassle being on there without a mask and being in a tube of everyone's breath. But
Yeah.
with a mask, I feel sick afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you're breathing in your own gunk the whole
Yeah.
time.
And then it just makes my throat itch. And then I'm like, oh my God, do I have COVID? Gives me all the symptoms.
Yeah, and it's again just like anything else. I think we're starting to realize that we need to protect ourselves from everything
Yeah.
because there's
I haven't gotten sich really at
Right.
all throughout the pandemic except
No.
when I got the vaccine, which is ironic. But
yeah. Well, it's just because it lowers your immune system, and that's the thing, right? Is we're taking care of ourselves. Like we're not ordering delivery or we're not picking up food at restaurants all the time. Like no one's really touching our food, and when we go shopping, we clean stuff, and this goes to the reason why we haven't been sick during the pandemic. That's why like even things starting to open up back to normal, we need to be careful that we're not laxy-daisy and
I don't think that, I just don't have interest in it anymore. You know what I mean? Like
How do you mean? Interest in what?
like going back out.
Oh, sure.
Like
Right.
I've just gotten used to, like, again,
Mhm.
it's nice to go out every now and then, it's nice to leave the house
Right.
because you need to mentally. It makes you feel a little bit better,
Yeah, you gotta get out.
but not for long.
Not for long, yeah.
Just come on back.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just don't have interest in, changing it up too much. I
Yeah.
feel better now that, we're fully vaccinated, and now that kind of makes me feel more comfortable. Like all my close friends are vaccinated now, so now I'm like, okay, we haven't had that chance to, have them over for
Yeah.
whatever reason. So now I just feel more comfortable with that.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, being vaccinated. There's so many people, even some of my friends are like, dude, I didn't think you were going to get vaccinated. I go, why not? They go, well, aren't you like Republican? Aren't you? And I go, this is the problem with you guys.
This isn't about politics.
No, but everyone wants to make it about politics, of course, because, one side wants to follow one agenda, the other side. It's okay to do both. It's okay to get vaccinated, but also vote for Trump. Like there's nothing, it's okay to not get vaccinated and be a Democrat. That's okay too. Like there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever's good for your body. And we thought it was a good move, because we're trying to start a family, and that's our doctors recommended that we do it. Not Dr. Fauci, not the president of the United States, but our doctors that we see that looks at my wife's vagina. I trust what this broad says because she's also going to be the one touching our baby. So it's like, okay, well, if we can't trust her with the vaccine and her recommendations, then why the hell
And I asked
am I trusting her?
multiple times.
Right.
Multiple people.
But again, this is the thing, right? Is I even said that to one of my friends who will remain nameless, but you know who you are, you prick. And I talked to him just yesterday, and we were having this conversation, and he goes, yeah, I'm still a little squirrely about it. And I go, did you see your doctor? Do you have like a family physician? He goes, no, I haven't been to the doctor in years. I go, okay. First of all, you need to go to the doctor at least once a year to check everything from, cancer to, your tonsil, like everything. Dentist, you need to go to the dentist every year, at least once a year. But you need to go to the doctor once a year. Fact. Forget COVID. You just got to go to the doctor. So I said first, I was like, you need to find a doctor, number one. Number two, how can you take advice from people on the internet or articles that you read or YouTube videos you watch from people you don't know and don't know their credentials, you don't know anything about them except for this video or this article. And you're going to trust their opinion over a doctor. Because I was telling him, I was like, our doctor said they recommend this. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And I've heard other doctors that say the opposite. And I go, who? Well, I've heard. I go, who? Do you have a doctor? Well, no. I go, okay, so you're telling me like a friend of a fucking friend told you? Like, do you hear what you're saying? This is you're making life decisions based off of maybes and friend of friend's recommendation. Like, this is not what movie you should see.
Yeah.
This is your health, bro. That's like, and I say this with health all the time when if you're working out, right? Yeah, it's important to get ideas and follow influencers that are maybe in shape and you want to get fit like them. And, there's a girl that has a fit ass. You want to have that ass, so you do squats. There's a guy that has big biceps. You want to listen to him because you want big biceps. There's a difference between watching that and doing that versus listening to a certified trainer, nutritionist, or a physician. Because if you have back problems, let's just say, and you're doing all the squats that the girl with the big ass is doing, squats are not good for you if you have a bad back, right? Or you got to make sure you do it a specific way depending on
Not
that.
everybody's
Right.
body is going to
Correct.
work the same.
Correct. So that's the thing is these influencers and these trainers, not that there's anything wrong with that, because they're just showing how they got to where they are. And that's great. That's, it's great to watch those people. But at some point, especially as you get older, you have to go to the doctor and listen to professionals. There's a difference between watching a video and listening to a professional. And, I think that has to do with the pandemic and any other disease you get. The flu vaccine, you want to get that. When you travel to like Central America, you have to get certain shots because a lot of diseases are a lot higher. If you go to Africa in particular or Europe, you got to get specific shots to make sure you don't get sick. So are you not going to do that because you don't believe in shots? No, I just don't believe in the COVID shot. Why? What's the difference between that shot and what you would get if you go to Africa and you go into the jungle and you have to make sure you don't get malaria and all those other diseases? What's the difference? It's all the same umbrella, bro. It's all coming from the government. Oh, you don't trust our government? Okay, different conversation. So get out of the country then. Because if you don't trust our government, you got a big problem. I don't trust our government, but I listen to doctors because I'm hoping that because I'm paying them, just like anything else, they're giving me the best knowledge that they know. And they might be wrong as well, but I have better chance of listening to my doctor versus listening to a dude on the internet that I don't know, that hasn't seen my blood work in my penis. That's like my doctor has seen my penis.
Yeah.
I trust that dude.
I trust my doctor. She's seen deep inside.
Yes. She's seen more of your undercarriage than you will ever see.
Yeah. And I've had it for 33 years.
And if I'm being honest, she's seen more than what I've seen, and it's not very comforting.
Well, let's wait till whenever we have a baby.
Yeah.
You might see more than me as well.
And I'm okay with that. And I'll feel better. Then I'll look at your doctor and be like, see, I could see it too. Because now she's got the best view in the house. Me, I'm just like, I'm the side piece, I guess. I don't know. It's not very comforting.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, people just post I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, but people just post things that, they make it sound so convincing. And there's so many contradictory videos,
Sure.
and it's like, what the fuck do I believe?
That's right.
Like, for example, I think you were watching a video on TikTok or something, and the girl is like, oh, women shouldn't drink coffee first thing in the morning because it triggers your anxiety. You should probably eat blah, blah, blah.
Drink water first, yeah.
And it's like,
You're
she's
not a
doctor. Maybe that's something that works for her, but the way she worded it
So
was
convincing.
like so confident that 100%
Oh, yeah.
all women should not
Yeah.
do this. But then you hear other things where it's like, yeah, if you have black coffee in the morning and do like a fasted cardio, but you just have the black coffee and then you fast until noon.
Right.
Okay, so which is it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you guys saying all
Yeah.
women? I mean, I'm great advice. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but if it
Yeah.
doesn't work for me, then you're wrong already.
That's right.
So if I go and have a smoothie instead and then have coffee like 3 hours later
Yeah.
and I still feel the same way, you were wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
But she says it so confidently,
I
and
know.
that's what it is. Like, all these videos, they say it so matter of fact that it's like, well, maybe she's right.
Yeah.
And then people Google it, but then again, Google also has its own algorithm.
Right.
So whatever you're searching for, I mean, I've been searching for, baby stuff just to get, information on all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of ads that I'm going to serve.
Oh, yeah.
Good
I
God.
bet.
And even on Google, it's like whenever I search anything, when it predicts my text, it's trippy.
It's so spot on.
and it's very scary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like
It's kind of awesome though too, because
it's awesome. But at the same time, it's like I don't know, what do I believe?
Yeah.
It can be so contradicting, but at the same time, it's like you're.
Well, and the hard thing is, like you said, it's contradicting, and there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to distinguish not only what's real and what's not, but we just get flooded with so much all the time that sometimes we forget that we have to take a step back and just focus on what's good for us. And how you do that is one-on-one with a professional. That's the best way to get anything done. If you want advice from a psychiatrist, are you going to watch Dr. Phil, or are you going to go into a room silent by yourself with a trained psychologist that actually will tell you what is wrong with your
Phil's
life?
Not trained?
Right. No. And even if he was, when you watch his show,
Like Judge
he's not
Judy, it says.
right.
Not a real judge.
Not a real judge. It's like they're not talking to you. So like what happens on Judge Judy if you were to hit a guy at a red light and he was to die and Judge Judy lets you off, if you do that same thing in real life, that judge is not going to let you off. Dr. Phil is not going to fix your problems because he's not going to see you. This is you watching a show. And we forget sometimes that those phones that we have, they're like little reality shows. And we're watching a bunch of Kardashians on our phones on TikTok and Instagram and all these influencers. That's all they are, is they're a bunch of celebrities. Now, some of them, I could speak for them in particular because I know a lot of them, but some of them are very, warm-hearted. They mean everything. They're very objective. Like Bobby is a great example, to where he's a massive influencer, and I listen to a lot of the stuff he says, but he comes off in a way to where this is what I do, and that's it. He doesn't talk into the camera and tell you what you should do, and I think that's the difference that we have to distinguish, where we got to stop telling people what to do. That's why I like my favorite word. What's my favorite word? Maybe. Because I don't know, I'm vegan, and I tell people all the time, you shouldn't be vegan.
I mean,
unless
if it works for you.
Unless it's good for you. Yeah. Don't be vegan to save an animal, because you might have an iron deficiency that you might need more meat than me. Instead of a pill, maybe you need to intake more meat to get your iron that way, or your zinc. Me, I do supplements, but I'm not iron deficient, right? So maybe you're iron deficient. You need to supplement something. So vegan might not work for you, but for me, it works. But that's the thing, is we have to get better at looking at those things and identifying that. Because the issue is, you have friend A, right? We'll call him friend A. Friend A, I was going to say a name.
Fred A?
Fred A. So Fred A, for example, Freddie will tell you, hey, listen, bro, here's the knowledge I know of the Moderna shot and Pfizer and all that. Where'd you get that from? Well, I got it from this guy that got the shot. And, well, he got the shot and he was really sick for a while and now he can't smell anything afterwards. Okay. What else? Well, that's all I know. Okay, so you don't know that guy's history. You don't know if he was at high risk. You don't know if, maybe he had underlying conditions. There could be a lot of factors involved there. You're not a doctor, so you shouldn't be spreading information, Freddie, of something that's irresponsible, because now I have another friend that is scared to take the vaccine because something happened to a friend of yours. Like, this is where we got to get careful.
That happened to me.
It did? Oh, walk us through it. Can you say names or no?
I won't say names.
Okay.
But
do I know these people?
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, I was already hesitant about getting the vaccine because,
that's right.
Again, I was reading contradicting things. I
Sure.
wasn't sure. And it was still, when I was looking into it, it was still too early to tell because they
Right.
were still kind of like, it was still iffy. But then after we got our first dose and we went to Miami, somebody said, yeah, I mean, I hear people getting the vaccine and they're like, their uterus is falling out. And I'm like,
wait a minute, we need that.
that's my biggest fear. And you looked at me like,
Yeah, I
that's
remember
what
that.
this one's worried about.
Yeah,
And in my head, I'm like, I wish you hadn't have said that.
yeah.
Because then it gave me anxiety because I knew that in a couple weeks, I mean, if I opt out of the second dose, like, I
Yeah.
don't know what that means, but I'm sure I can opt out of it if I really wanted
Sure.
to. But I thought about that for several days.
I bet.
And I was like, the girl's uterus is falling out. and going into early menopause. What? Like, but I didn't even bother to like elaborate on it or where he saw that.
Yeah.
But it resonated a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Well, it's terrifying. I mean, but that's the thing is like there's so much information out there, and I've listened and done things on TikTok and Instagram, and they ended up working, like, recipes or like little hacks. So the internet is great, and there's a lot of cool information out there, and a lot of stuff works. So when that same person that gave you that TikTok hack says don't get the vaccine because XYZ, you kind of want to believe them.
Yeah, you take that second, like, hold on.
Yeah, but then this is the wild thing, right, about social media is if you're gonna be that dude or that girl, you got a responsibility now. That's why I'm very careful with everything I say, because I don't know a lot. I mean, I only know, and I say this all the time, I'm only good at like 3 or 4 things.
I disagree.
No, wait, you think it's more or less?
More.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're only good at one thing.
I was like,
I'll let you take a guess.
Va-va-voom. But there's only a couple things that I think I'm like really good at. There's other things that I'm okay at and that I try to get better at. But there's a lot of things I know nothing about, but I talk about. But I'm blatantly, obvious when I talk about it, where I say, hey, I don't know a whole lot about this, but this is, I want to learn and I want to talk about it. But I would never go out of my way to tell someone something that I'm even 99.9% sure of. Because if you're not 100% sure of it, you could really fuck up someone's day or life. And I think a lot of social media folks out there, they don't really take that in consideration. Like, they don't understand that everything you say, someone's watching. So even if you think it's true, that doesn't make it true. Like, your opinion is not a fact. A fact is a fact. So if it's a fact, it's okay to say it, but don't put all your conviction on it. It's different if you're like 21 years old and you're saying things when you're drunk and you're saying stuff on social media. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you looking into a camera and saying, hey, listen, my audience, hundreds, thousands, millions of people, for sure this is true, because all those people are going to believe you because they trust you, because they follow you, and then they're going to spread it. And very similar to like a virus, it spreads and it gets, this is how you have like 50% of the population don't want to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
And who knows, the vaccine could be bullshit too. Maybe it is, and we'll know in 5 years. Yeah, we'll let you guys know. But if my doctor that I trust is saying to take it because we're trying to start a family, I have to listen to that doctor, because it's irresponsible for us not to do it, because now we're not looking out for our children. Because they told us, what, if we don't get the vaccine and we end up getting pregnant and then we, one of us gets COVID or you get COVID or whatever.
Mainly me.
Mainly you, obviously. Then there could be negative side effects on our child. So even if that is 1% true, I got to get the vaccine, even though I don't really want to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
But I'm not risking that 1% chance.
And that's why I decided to go with the
Yeah.
vaccine, even though someone told me my uterus might.
That's right.
I
And
was
so
like,
far-
I'll take the chance.
And so far, uterus,
It's intact.
as far as I could see, it's intact. It looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
Your walls are just
They're lined perfectly.
money walls. But yeah, that is kind of a funky thing that
Did
we
you
got to
say
get
money
better at.
wall?
I said your walls are money. Yeah.
Oh. Got it.
Your walls.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I thought you said money walls. I don't know why.
What's a money wall?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
A wall of money?
Or, I mean, I thought maybe you just like switched the term and still meant the same. Like your walls are money walls. Tip top
Yeah.
type of.
Well, now that you say it like that, it sounds kind of better.
That's why I'm glad I elaborated on that.
Me too. Because now I'm going to start calling those things money walls.
Or baby walls?
That's something that, what's his name? Oh my God, we haven't watched Parks and Rec in so long. Tommy. That's something he would say. Where's the camera? Where's that? He would say something like along the lines of like, where do I get the money? In the money walls.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, you just got to be careful with social media. I think now we've all been stuck at home, and it's been 18 months, and we're all looking at our phones. So we're all looking for like that great moment in the advice from that one person. It's going to take our life to the next level. And oh my God, this Amazon product. Ooh, and this.
Oh, I've fallen bait to that.
Yeah. But we always rely on that for social. Instead of doing the own goddamn research ourselves, we rely on other people to
Well,
do it.
it's just easier that way.
If it's
because I
correct, sure.
personally, like the old saying goes, I don't, oh my,
That was my tummy.
Target tells me what I need.
Sure.
I don't tell Target what I need. I walk in and Target just lets me know what I need.
Right.
Which it's the same with like the influencers I follow. So here's something that I may have not told you, but when I follow influencers, I follow girls that are my size.
Sure.
So like a lot of them, they have this like to know it app
Mm-hmm.
where they can link up like their outfits, makeup, whatever.
Right.
But in that profile, they say like how tall they are, sizes, bust size, all that stuff. So then when they share that stuff, I see how it fits on them, and then I know it's going to fit okay on me.
Smart.
Type of thing.
Makes sense.
Which I don't buy as much clothes anymore because where the fuck am I going to go to wear it?
Right.
But I don't know. I just feel like I follow people that are similar in style, things like that. And honestly, it's just easier to find new things
To let them do it. Sure.
when they're doing that work. I mean, they're getting paid buku bucks to do that. So I'm going to let them do that for me. So
true.
I don't have to go through Sephora's thousands of product lists to find something that might work for me.
And I mean, and that's a great way to shop and to pick up things. What I'm talking about is we just have to be careful of, you do that, but then just like anything else, just like Fox News and just like CNN, influencers sometimes have an agenda as well.
Yes.
And that's the challenging thing, is like when they give you advice that they're not sure of. So like they know makeup, they know clothes, that's different. But now you're buying into this person.
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
if they
again,
were but that's the difference in people. Like me personally, like if
you got to follow the right people.
Yeah. Like
Exactly.
I'm not going to follow somebody that they'll be like lipstick, eyeshadow, and then the next one's like something politically crazy. I'm just like,
That's right.
oh yeah, well, I mean, you gave me good tips on my eyebrows, so I must believe you on that.
Yeah.
But some people are not.
Well, and a good example, and as I always bring this back to politics because it's the easiest example, or let's talk about religion because that's always fun to talk about. But I always kind of bring it back to that, to where if you were born and raised Christian and all you know is Christian values and the Bible, and you hearing from a Muslim is a different world to you, you won't believe them, right? Because it's not your world. What you say as a Christian is fact. And that's why I look at myself as more of a atheist or agnostic, is because it's not that I don't believe that there's a God, I just don't know. And until I get proven otherwise to myself, I don't need anybody else to prove it. It's not your responsibility. But until I see it for myself, I just don't, I think faith is an important word, but not in religion. I think there's ways to have faith without religion. And also I think religion is just hypocritical, because by you saying you're Christian is saying you believe one thing, and that's what you were told and what you read, right?
Yeah.
So if any other religion comes along, it's wrong. What you believe is right. And it's kind of the same thing with, what we're talking about.
It's actually about religion earlier today.
Oh, do
where
tell.
It was like, let's just stick with the end of it, because the beginning I don't remember. But the last part was like, just because you go to church doesn't make you a good person, because there are people that go to church and, oh, I'm so Christian, and oh, I'm so Catholic, or what have you.
Yeah.
But they're the most judgmental, like condescending type of people. And it's like, that's not being a good person, by the way.
Some of them are, for sure.
Like, not everyone.
Right.
But I've encountered my fair share of like, being judged because, they're religious, and, like in the past, you've had so many boyfriends. So?
Yeah.
What does that have to, does that affect you?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
totally,
one of those things. Not that I've had that many boyfriends, but to them, it was a lot.
Of course.
Because their religion, like, oh, save yourself for marriage. It's like.
Yeah. And, again, that's going back to like, we're just listening to what other people told us hundreds of years ago, and it's getting passed down. And listen, there's nothing wrong with religion. I'm just using that example as saying most of the time, if you believe in religion or politics, if you only are consumed by that one side, the reason I bring up Christianity is a very similar way to where if you bring up like Republicans, right? So if you're a Trump supporter and you voted Republican this last election, you probably only watch Fox News because that's primarily Republican. The issue that I think us humans have is that if I'm a true American and I love all humans and I want to be respectful for everybody, I would watch Fox News and CNN. Because if you're only watching Fox News, you're only going to get Republican shit. So if you're Republican, that's all you're going to see is Republican stuff. It's going to be Republican driven. Same thing with CNN. It's primarily mostly Democrats, so you're going to get driven to that. Same thing with Christianity. If you're only going to a Christian church, if you're truly religious, what you should do is you should go to a Christian church, and then you should see the other religions. Go to Scientology. Go check that out. Oh, Scientology's stupid, Tony. Why? Most religions, the most popular religion, you think a guy's going to come back from the dead, and that's not crazy? But Scientology is? Get out of here. That doesn't make any sense. That's what I mean. Know all the religions and appreciate, religion as a whole. Just like politics. Like if you want to vote Republican or Democrat, that's cool. But leading up to the election, don't only watch the Republican TV station because you're not going to get any of the Democratic views because there might be some cool stuff on there that you want to pick up. I bring that up because we talk about social media. That's kind of the same thing is, if you listen to an influencer, you listen to somebody that is teaching you one thing, it's okay to dabble. Like you said, you're focusing on only people that are your size and fit your interests. That's perfect. That's what you want to do because it fits your interests. But if someone tells you, hey, Brenda, you shouldn't do it this way, why?
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Like I'm doing it the way that I think it's best for me. And we just have to be careful about judging other people. And that's the weird thing now with so much social media going on is everyone's so goddamn judgy because they think that what they're saying and what they believe is true.
To say it,
Of course they are.
Behind that keyboard, you bitch is strong.
Yeah.
Cash me
Of course they
outside,
do. How about that?
What's that one sound that it's like, I'm religious, but I'm okay to throw hands. You want to catch some hands?
That's right.
I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's funny.
It's probably on TikTok, I'm sure.
That's always on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the...
Yeah, that's another thing is, man, social media has just gotten so, was it yesterday, I think, that we just didn't watch TV or didn't use the phones at all? I think because we were like cleaning up or doing, yeah, it was yesterday. And like I was fixing all the stuff with, the new internet system I got and all that jazz. And we were just like, it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Being disconnected for the day. Because, man, once you get on that thing, it's a whirlwind of craziness.
God, it's just so funny, though. Mainly because
it's a bunch of TV shows. It's a bunch of
like
little
mini series.
Yeah, for like a minute max.
It's like America's Funniest Videos.
Right.
At your own leisure.
You know what it's like? Sorry to interrupt you. You know what it's like? It's like a bunch of mini episodes of ridiculousness.
Yes.
Because ridiculousness is by far the greatest show known to man on television. Fact. And I hate television.
Watch every episode and still laugh my ass off because it's so funny.
Because it's just a bunch of people just being people.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But those are my favorite TikToks is people being people. I'm not a big fan of like, you could tell some people on TikTok that are TikTok famous when they start, pulling the Instagram thing where it's like their stories are like fucking 20 dots long and you're like, ugh. Like I just like TikToks that it's someone talking to the camera, saying something funny, they're quick.
A little skit
maybe, impersonations. Like I like that type of stuff.
I like the makeup tutorials. And let me tell you, I don't know if this is going to make me seem old or not. Probably. But there's some TikToks that do like calligraphy writing. Like they have really nice writing.
Mm-hmm. I have seen those.
I tell you what, fuck ASMR. I will watch that all day long. The other day I caught myself watching the same video like 3 back to back because her handwriting was so nice and she never let the pen leave the fucking paper. And it was perfect. I'm like, how the hell?
That's another thing people don't talk about a lot is, I mean, obviously we don't do cursive anymore, but that was so quick, like cursive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last time I used cursive was maybe high school where they were actually teaching it, where it was like in classes and you had to like
Yeah.
teachers were writing on the board. But then that was it though.
They don't teach it anymore.
Yeah, they don't teach it anymore. But you don't see it. It's gone. It's a part of the English language that literally disappeared and no
Which
one talked
makes me
about it.
Curious, because at one point do we start seeing the kids that don't have a signature?
Right. That's going to happen soon, right? Well, because now even if you notice the e-signatures you do, they don't even have to be like a signature. You could just like do your initials, like
Yeah.
a regular initial, like MB. You don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be a signature. It could just be typing.
I mean, at that point, it's basically just solidifying the fact that you are agreeing to these terms.
Right.
So whether it's your signature or not,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
So then the question remains, why would we use a signature? What, to cash a check? Yeah, that's funny. When are we cashing checks, right? Like,
I mean,
But-
even that you can do electronically.
that's right. I mean, you still have to sign the back to endorse
Yeah.
it, but I mean, literally on a daily basis, when would you ever need to write a signature?
Never.
Never. That is so strange, though, because it's just a part of our, in 100 years, probably, no one's ever going to know what that is. It'll be eradicated from the English language. No one's going to even say the word like cursive is not even going to be a thing. Oh, blasphemy. Like no one's even going to, but isn't that strange that it wasn't talked about? It was
Yeah.
just like after we left school, I'm assuming, maybe
mean,
like
that was
05, 06.
That was recently that they stopped teaching it, like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Just one day.
They just decided not to, which
And-
makes no sense.
It doesn't. Well, and also it makes me very curious how that goes about as well. Like, is it it's obviously not the government passing that information down to the teachers. Is it the county that figures it out? But then I know it's
Well,
not just the county.
Education system is fucked up as it is.
Right.
So they're probably like, that's one useless thing, but we're still gonna pay y'all the same.
Yep.
Shit.
It's just so strange.
It is.
And we do that with so many things. We just cut them out completely.
Well, that's the thing too. Like with education and stuff, the people that run the board of education or whatever,
Right.
some of them probably were never teachers, so they don't
No.
understand what it's like to physically be in that classroom and do the day to day.
That's right.
Or if they were, it was so long ago they have forgotten
Yeah.
because they've been on that stoop for so long.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for teachers. I'm glad I got out of there.
Yeah. It's
'Cause it's a lot of work for chump change.
and that was something I was talking about with Nova and Hector too, where we just don't we're able to spend all this money on stimulus checks and we're printing new money. We're making up money. Like we're putting ourselves more and more in debt. We're not borrowing money. We're just making more of it. You could do that at any moment of the time. It has to be justified. And apparently stimulus checks were justified for the pandemic. They would bail out in 2008. They would bail out all these banks, but they won't bail out local businesses after this pandemic. And then you look
It
at all
doesn't
these,
make the money. They
yeah.
don't give a fuck.
and then you look at all the people like, first responders and healthcare workers and cops and firemen and teachers.
They get paid.
They get paid the worst out of anybody. Minimum wage just got waged. Waged? What? Minimum wage just got raised. It's hard to say. What about the minimum salary for a teacher, or cop, or fireman? Did that get raised?
Mm-mm.
And why wasn't that the first thing to get raised? By the Universal Studios has raised their minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. But policemen still get paid like shit.
Yeah.
But don't worry. The people that scare you at Halloween Horror Nights, they get paid more than the fucking cops. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's all backwards.
It's all backwards.
I mean, even I've said this before. A fucking basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Playing
You to
basketball.
run up and down a court, go to training. Ooh, boo-hoo, what a horrible job.
Yeah.
And you only do it for a short amount of time of the NBA season.
That's right.
And off season, you're just chilling.
Here's
essentially.
what's going to blow your mind.
And, no, this
Oh.
is what blows my mind.
Good.
And companies still send them free shit.
Mm-hmm.
They can pay for it,
But they still get free shit.
but they still get free shit just for marketing purpose. So this company spits out the money to send it to this person that could afford their product
Right.
if they wanted it. But
Yeah.
you're going to spend the money to send it to them for them to wear it around, be noticed. That's like their marketing ploy,
Sure.
which to me, it just doesn't make any sense. But
It's
a
the views.
But a cop goes out there and literally risks their life
Yeah.
every day, and you're gonna give them $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
Get out.
It's bullshit. Well, and this is what's crazy. This is what's going to blow your mind. Basketball players, sports players, UFC fighters, all these guys get paid buku bucks, right? And that industry, the sports industry and athletes continuously get paid more and more and more. Like LeBron gets paid more than Jordan just for his salary, not for endorsements and stuff, because Jordan's still making money off Nike and Gatorade. But from a salary standpoint, from the team, LeBron makes more. So every single year, these guys are asking for more and more and more money. What if one day the NBA is like, all right, guys, listen, we got to lower the salary of everybody. We just can't afford it. We're not getting enough views, whatever, right? Let's just say that happens. You think any of those players are going to accept that? They're going to say, fuck off. I'll just make money off endorsements. Meaning there's no way to go down from here. So there's no way to lower that. So the team has made a huge mistake because they made this a standard. And they made this a standard to pay these guys and gals millions of dollars to do this sport when they're going to have to keep paying millions. And that's if the industry keeps booming, right? Basketball's starting to get some traction, but baseball's going downhill. But those guys still get paid a good amount of money for barely playing. UFC, that's going up now, but boxing used to be like the pinnacle of getting paid millions. Now that's gone down. But then you see like guys like Logan Paul and Jake Paul that are kind of like doing this little bullshit theater act of boxing that's bringing boxing back up, which is exciting. But you also got to look at it like the real estate market. You know, houses are so expensive now, right? Like, it's not like there's one company that could be like, all right, guys, we're going to lower all the houses to 150 grand so everyone can afford them. No, the reason why they're so expensive is because fuckers keep raising the price and dumbasses like us keep buying it. So prices are going to keep getting higher and higher. We have to get to a point to where we just fucking don't need so much money, because now we're at the point to where we think there's a standard of how much money we can and can't make. And it's madness. Like I was telling this, I'll say his name, telling it to fucking John the other day about getting paid minimum wage. And I'm like, bro, the problem with getting paid a lot for minimum wage is when your minimum wage gets up to $15 an hour, guess what your landlord and your mortgage company and your renter and guess what the Starbucks up the street's going to start charging? More money, because you're making more. That's how capitalism works. That's why we're in the situation we're in. Yeah, you want to get paid a lot of money, but the more money you get paid, the more shit's going to get expensive. The more taxes are going to get raised because people are making more money. Like, it's bound to happen. And the government sees it. The government sees like companies like Amazon and Universal and, you know, all these big multi-billion-dollar companies that are paying their employees a shit ton of money. So the government's going to kind of crowd around and be like, all right, guys, you know what? They're getting paid so much money. So now we can actually make up like a fucking law that we're going to start taxing them more because now they're making more. Like, they have that power. Yeah. The perfect world is everyone gets paid what they're worth. And I think that there should be some type of stipulation on your job title, like a cop or a teacher. You know, these cats are giving something to society. The highest paid people should not be athletes, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
100%. I always think of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
I mean, and it's, you know, it's unfortunate too because, yeah, we love watching what they do, but these companies want to keep investing money into these players instead of, like, you know, fixing the poor communities in the world. Like, to your point, you talk about getting all these free shoes and all that. Like, what if you just go to the poor community and give them all the free shit you're going to give to the athletes? You're telling me that's not a good marketing play?
Absolutely.
Of course
If
it's a
I
great
see
marketing
Nike
play.
give a bunch of homeless people free shoes, I'm going to go buy myself a pair of Nikes.
Fuck yeah.
I'll be like, you know what? For every purchase, one goes to homeless.
Yeah.
Instead of sending it to fucking LeBron. How about that?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, he's got money to spend.
And, you know, I think a lot of companies are starting to kind of go that route. You start seeing that, but just not enough. Not enough companies are, because you know what? That's a sign of weakness to a lot of companies like a Nike, because they know their best bet is to give the Nikes to the athletes that have millions of followers, the Kim Kardashians of the world, because even if there's a shot in the fucking background of their Instagram post, 100 million views in 1 second, versus giving a bunch of water bottles to Flint, Michigan is a bad marketing investment because no one's going to see that. It's unfortunate.
Everybody and their fucking ego, man.
Yeah, greedy, capitalistic United States of America.
And we are officially on a list.
Yes. And Alexa has heard this entire conversation. We're fucked.
Alexa, stop listening.
She's behind you.
Oh.
But all right. Well, anyway.
Cool.
That got deep. Should we end it on something positive?
I got paranoid for a second.
Yeah. But see, this is, I don't even know how long we're going, but, you know, once you get going, isn't it fun?
I will not admit this on air.
It's not recording right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You wouldn't be sitting there if it wasn't.
It's accurate. But how about this production setup? We're getting somewhere with this podcast, huh? Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know where to look, but yeah.
So you got this camera right here, and then about 10 seconds, it's gonna switch to the other one. So you have to look on the big TV to see what camera it's at. See that? Eh?
Oh.
Hi guys.
Fancy.
But yeah, we are of course available on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, all that jazz. But now I got the YouTube channel too, so make sure you guys subscribe if you have not already. And you can go to youtube.com/Tony Barreto, or you could find me at the Barreto anywhere else. But no, I'm glad you came on because I wanted to, again, just shoot the shit. And, you know, we got a lot going on now. Things are cranking. Things are positive in the house El Barreto. So we just had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure that you get on this show at least once a quarter so we could shoot the shit. I think that was the last time you were on was like a couple months ago.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Was it Christmas?
Yeah, it might have been Christmas actually. January, I think, yeah. February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, see, it's 5 months. See what I'm talking about?
No. It
Yeah.
had to be more recent because I was off of social media and I talked about that the last time I was on.
Like you just started on social media again. I haven't had you on since then.
No.
I've been trying to get you on since then.
I'm going to have to look and see your episodes.
I mean, I can tell you right now.
Done one after Christmas.
I mean, because I'm at like, I don't even know. I'm at episode 116. Yeah, I think I'm at 116. Last time you were on was 103, and it was called Humans Are Gross. Was the episode.
Well, quick update.
Yeah.
I was off of social media for
That was in March.
that one was in
Yeah.
March. Oh,
So,
see,
It was pretty recent, yeah.
Then never mind.
Yeah,
No
so
update needed.
every 3 months, yeah. But yeah, so you were off social media for quite some time. You just started up again.
Yeah, I got back on May 1st, I believe.
Yeah. So since last time you were on, you were off social media, right? Last time you were on the show?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you just got on. So how was it like not being on social media for a couple months?
it was great.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely more productive with my time.
Right.
I mean, I did get on TikTok, but the only reason I got on TikTok was because it's not people I follow. I just stayed on my For You page.
Yeah.
I never went to where people that I follow or anything like that. It was just,
Yeah, but like we talked about, TikTok's kind of like a TV show.
yeah.
It's like a bunch of little TV shows.
Like, I just stayed off my personal stuff and seeing people's. And I also downloaded a design game. That was addicting.
Yeah. You still doing that?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's kind of calming.
I mean, really, as long as you could fill your time with something semi-productive, I think social media could be beneficial. But it's when you get consumed so much, like we
Yeah.
kind of talked about, where you're listening to other people's opinions and you're not formulating your own opinions and doing your own research, and you're making it so, related to news, right? Like if we didn't have phones, but you were only watching the news all day, every day,
It'd be super negative.
it'd be super negative because all they talk about is clickbaity, negative shit. So you got to kind of think your phone. Like the phone is the new TV. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
TV was the new radio. Like there's going to be something that's going to outweigh the phone probably 20 years from now. You know, like you're going to get a microchip in your brain and we're going to be like, fuck a
I
phone.
hope not.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Well, Neuralink, it's already happening. I'm all about that. I'm ready for that.
No. I opt out.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Let this be my proof. I opt out of that.
I am in it, Elon Musk. I'm ready for you, bud. I trust you.
Mm.
But yeah, so social media was good. And now you're back on and you're not really doing it as much.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still. I really don't get on it that much, if I'm being honest. Like,
Just to watch things every now and then.
yeah. Like, I'll watch stories, but I'll go
Sure.
maybe through like a few. Or I'll just go to like the influencers that I like that I know that they're not going to be pulling some negative shit.
Right.
I'll watch them a little bit, see what they're up to.
That's it.
That's about it. I mean, I think I posted the day I came back, I posted a picture like, hi, miss anything?
Right.
And then I think I didn't post again until your birthday, and that was like 21 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I still don't post a lot on my stories. I don't want to feel the pressure of having to keep up,
Yeah.
if you will.
Nothing
But
wrong with that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I posted the other day, just
Right.
randomly. But again, that was like another 2 weeks before I posted again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only reason I even post on social media was not just because of the podcast, but I mean, obviously I like the attention, but
Yeah.
But- no, but a big thing for me is just an outlet for me. Because you know me, I have to always be doing something all the time.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm never a scroller at all. Like if you're scrolling, if you look over at me, more often than not, I'm like writing up a draft of like my next podcast. I post on Instagram in my drafts. I have like 5 posts and I plan out what I'm going to post weeks in advance, and I have it all saved in my drafts. So that way when I want to post it, I just post it and that's it, and I walk away. I don't scroll for hours on end. I just can't do that. I'm usually always doing something on social media, but it's not just aimlessly scrolling. I just
Like, I
can't. I can't do
scroll.
that.
But then I catch myself doing the mindless scroll, and I don't even like people's stuff.
I know.
I
Just the scroll.
it just goes, and sometimes I'm like, I didn't even read what the fuck that was about. I need to get off now.
Yeah.
Like when I start realizing that I'm not even taking in
The information.
what it actually is, and I'm like, I need to get off of here.
Yeah, that is weird. I've noticed that a lot lately, especially I think because of the pandemic. When you look at something and these clips are only a minute long and you know what the punchline's going to be, whatever it is, and you're like watching this video or this funny thing and you almost like you start getting itchy. Like I found myself starting to get itchy if it doesn't get to the punchline fast.
Yeah.
And then I'll catch myself and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like there is something.
Or there's not keeping your interest in that particular video, maybe.
But how crazy is that? That, 5
'Cause
years
I
ago, we
feel
didn't
that
care
way.
about that.
I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, now we do.
There's like some people that they're just so long-winded. It's like,
Yeah.
get to the fucking point already.
Right.
Like yesterday, you saw I was trying to figure out one of the influencers that I follow.
Mhm.
Apparently she got sick with something, and like it was alarming because she posted a picture and her mouth was all swollen and she had like all these things on her face. So I was curious what it was because she said that her doctor said adults rarely she got hand, foot, and mouth. Do you know what that is?
No.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's usually with kids, and it's
It's a real thing? Oh.
hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's like they get sores like inside their mouth, and it's painful. It's almost like they get shingles in their mouth. That's how
My
I can
God.
relate it to.
Yeah.
And it's from using pacifiers, which our child will never. Ugh, they're
Gross.
so disgusting.
Yeah.
Like if you don't clean them properly, you have to sterilize them every day. Even, for example, if your kid's starting to learn to wipe their butt,
Right.
they get poop on their hands and then they put it in their nose or their mouth, like it's an infection.
Yeah.
And it's highly contagious to kids.
I mean, you'd be better off letting them suck their thumb, no?
Even that,
Yeah,
even
it's
that,
gross,
you can get
but-
a hand, foot, and mouth disease because if you don't wash their hands properly and then they're sitting there sucking their thumb, or they can even develop staph infections.
Oof.
Like a sore. If they get hand, foot, and mouth, they can't suck their thumb when they have it because they have sores. Now,
Oh, it's on their hands too?
yeah, it'll get on their hands. It depends. Sometimes it's only in their mouth, outside of their mouth, their hands. They'll get like rashes on their body.
And their foot, I assume.
Yeah.
Hand, foot, and
sometimes
mouth.
Their feet.
Yeah.
But it just depends.
They really took no creative control of
hand, foot,
naming
and
that
mouth.
disease. Like they, like all the other diseases are so like high tech and
Well, I think they used it because that's how you can contract it, just by like touching. Those are the most
Hand, foot, and
vulnerable
mouth, yeah.
parts that you can contract it. But it's gross and
Yeah.
it's very contagious, and very rarely does an adult get it. It's usually just kids.
children. Yeah.
So she got it from her niece, and she went on and on talking the story, and I'm like, can you just?
Get to the point.
And I didn't want to skip ahead because then I didn't want to miss what she got
Sure.
because I don't know. When
So
was
she
gonna say-
told you at the end of it, so that's annoying.
Yeah, so I.
But she knows how to catch your attention. She did it on purpose,
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
I went through fucking 4 dots.
Yeah.
I hate that I fell into
Yeah.
that.
And that's what I mean. There's a difference between sharing your story and giving value to people versus something like that,
Like,
where
I feel like me, I don't like to talk a lot. I mean,
aside from me forcing you to
Yeah.
do this, right?
yeah, like I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like too long of a conversation can be exhausting with
Right.
like other people.
Yeah.
Like,
But
with
if you're
you,
with a
it's
pro, you know.
Well, with you, it's, we're married. It's easy. We can
Yeah.
talk to each other, whatever. But
We've
it's
seen
like,
each other naked. It's not weird. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's so not weird. But like, I just generally like to keep it short, sweet. Like, I get to
Sure.
my point. Generally,
Generally, yeah.
when they're long-winded like that, I just like, fuck, man.
It's a lot.
Just like, tell me. Like, if it was me and I got hand, foot, and mouth disease, one slide. That's all it would
That's
take.
it.
I'd be like, damn, my doctor said it was super rare, but here I am. Hand, foot, and mouth disease. Boom.
Right.
Post.
Or better yet, if you want to tell a whole story, that's okay. But guys, you won't believe it, but I just got hand, foot, and mouth disease. Let me tell you how. And that's it.
And then if I want to listen to that story,
Then
I
you'll
will.
listen. But yeah, don't fucking say, "Oh my god, I got this horrible mouth disease. Let me tell you all about it." And then 3 minutes later you tell me it,
Or
and
when
then I'm
you
like,
watch-
"Oh, I'm never going to get that. All right, I don't need to watch it." It's like,
Or
like
it's-
what if it's something serious like I ate chicken from Walmart? Like I want to know what that is. Tell me quick because I could be eating the chicken right now. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
Like tell me the information
But
quick.
it's like those videos that you catch on TikTok.
Right.
Watch till the end, and then you get to the end, and it was pointless, and you're like, "Fuck me!"
Yes.
I watched that whole fucking.
Oh, have
video.
you seen this new thing that has, I don't know if it's just on my feed or not. Maybe you guys have seen this. It is the most frustrating fucking thing ever.
Wow, that was very passionate.
Let me tell you what it is. You ready?
Do
By the way,
not
you-
go long-winded.
You see what I did there? I
Yeah.
spread it out. No, but it's honestly this, like there was one in particular where it was this girl getting videotaped by her friend, and she was in the kitchen, and she's like, "Oh my God, guys, I figured out the easiest, fastest way to make PB&J." Have you seen this?
I think so.
Okay, so this is what you do, guys. First, you heat up all the peanut butter. So she'll take a big thing of Jif, she'll heat it up. This whole video is walking through it. And I want to know because I love PB&J. Is there a faster way to make it? I want to know. Of course.
I mean,
Hold on. I know what
PB&J.
you're thinking. Exactly, right? Your thought is that's so quick to make. So obviously it piqued my interest. I'm like, there's no way you can beat bread, peanut butter, jelly, bread. No way you can. That's
is
2
that-
seconds.
Hold on, is that how you? Make
That's
your
not
PB&J?
how I make it. You know how I make it. That's not how I make it. But I'm saying the concept, there's no way you can beat that speed.
Yes.
There's no other sandwich. So I'm like, I got to hear this. This has got to be good, right? So she ends up doing this video. Long story short, she puts melted peanut butter on a pan with parchment paper. Yeah, with parchment paper. She puts it on there, the PB&J.
So she puts the peanut butter.
Just straight up melted on the
Oh.
parchment paper, like a square almost like she's baking a fucking cake, but with peanut butter. Then she freezes it. Then she'll pour the jelly on it. Then she freezes that. So she's videotaping this entire thing, not time lapsed.
Is
She's
this
doing the
on that
process.
guy's TikTok too, where
It's not a TikTok, it's a Facebook video, but
Oh.
I'm sure they made a TikTok version of it. But she does that, she'll freeze it, and then she'll take it out, and she goes, see, guys, how crazy is this? And now it's just like this weird, thick, frozen thing, and I'm like, I guess. Let's see where she's going with it. Then she cuts it in these squares. So now there's like these long strips of peanut butter and jelly, and then she'll cut it again, right, to make
This
it.
is already not shorter.
It's not shorter, but I'm like, maybe there's a way to food prep. Maybe she's doing this and she has kids. I get it. So I want to watch. I want to see how this plays out. And then this is what pissed me off the most. I'm 3 minutes in at this point. So
Could
then,
have made 3 PB&Js in
Right.
that time.
but again, me, you know how much I love to food prep. I'm thinking maybe if I got 5 kids, maybe there's a fast way to do it. She'll take the bread, she puts it here. So now these are unfrozen because she's prepped everything, and she'll put it in these little containers. 2 pieces of bread in between this now unfrozen PB&J that's a perfect square. It looks kind of cool. Now she has 15 sandwiches, does it. And then it pans to her friend that does it, and her friend goes, there's no way that's faster than a PB&J. And then the girl that got videotaped that did, she's like, yeah, I know, but you just watched the whole video. And I was like, you motherfucker. But this is the problem. They do it because they get the views. It's all based off algorithms and how long. She got thousands and millions of people to watch this entire thing for no good reason.
I wouldn't have watched that.
Well,
second she put the
you wouldn't
peanut
have fast
butter-
forward through it to see?
No. As soon as she put that peanut butter on the fucking parchment paper and said put it in the freezer, I'd be like, it's already too much.
Yeah, well, it's too much work for sure.
Like,
But
it's
again,
already, I would have already made my sandwich.
But it's all about the prep. That's what
Yeah,
got me.
But logically thinking, I would never
It's social media. There's no logic.
pre-prep a PB&J
It's so easy.
because putting jelly sogs right through the bread.
Right.
That needs to be fresh.
I agree. Listen,
You fell.
I fell. But this is the problem where I'm sure other people out there's tons of videos that, you watch where it's these long videos of all this stuff. But that's the problem is they loop you in, and that's
Yeah.
how people are cheating the system. And it's just not fair. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I
like
hate
the
you, social
ones-
media.
I like the ones that say, and don't worry, you don't have to like for part 2. I'm like, thank you.
Oh, yeah. See, that's another great example is like, especially now because TikTok always does that. But TikTok now has extended their videos, right? So it's not just a minute.
So you don't need to do.
You don't need to
part
do
two,
it. But
just-
they do part 2 because they want you to follow them and like them. And
Yeah, but I don't have
It's
to
all part of
follow
the-
them.
it's all
I
part of the
literally
game.
just go if I'm really interested and invested in it, and they say, "Oh, like for part 2." I don't like it because don't tell me what to do. And then I go to their page and I'll watch the part 2, and I won't like that either.
Right. Yeah.
They'll get 2 views, but that's it.
But I have had some instance where they go like for part 2, and then I click, and that was the last video they posted was part 1, and I'm like, fuck. I really want to know what part 2 is. Not enough to follow them, but I kind of feel unsatisfied that I couldn't finish it.
Like, see, I
You got
wouldn't
me.
even do that. And it's like, oh well, I guess it's not that important.
Ugh.
And then eventually, it's gonna show up on my For You page, and I'll be like, oh damn, I
Oh, damn,
remember
that's
a few
dope.
weeks ago it said part
Yeah.
2. There it is.
Yeah.
And again, you won't get a fucking like from me.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
But yeah, social media has changed a few people, but it only changes you if you let it. There's a lot of good things that come from it, but you also got to be careful what it brings out of you.
Like, I just do it for sheer entertainment.
Yeah. The good news though is whatever you got from it during the pandemic, that's the worst it's going to get. Because I don't think we're ever going to be in a situation again where we're going to be stuck at home for 18 months looking at our phones.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. So I think the worst is over. Now we can get back to normal. We can get back to socializing. And like, Ben and Rachel came over today. It was great because Ben shot some cool stuff for the podcast. And just getting that, like, we're back in it, man. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels good to not do this shit on my own anymore. That's why I like having you on, is because I hate doing those virtual podcasts.
Alone. I'm
Yeah.
So lonely.
I'm so lonely. But I mean, I love doing the virtual podcast because I love meeting people that are new, that are different, and then I haven't met them before. Like this last couple podcasts that I will probably post by the time this comes out. But all those last couple guys I never met before. Like the one I did with Hector and Nova. Like I never met Hector. I never even saw a picture of him. I just showed up to his house with my equipment. We sat down, and we're best friends now. And he's gonna do some more tattoos in a couple weeks. Like,
Seems like a good dude.
he's an
I
awesome
liked him.
dude. He's a super crazy geek, and I love it. And me, him, and Nova got along great, and we're probably gonna end up doing like a weekly fucking podcast down the road or something.
Do it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It'd be awesome.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
Fuck.
Call it nerd alert. But that's like, I like doing that live stuff. Like, doing that again just gave me the itch. Like, it was almost a 3-hour podcast because I wanted to talk so much to a human. I was like, oh my God, you're real. I want to talk to you forever.
Like we mentioned before, I mean, yeah, virtual is great. I mean, it's
Right.
You're able to talk to people all over the country,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. But at the same time, there's something about in person
Yeah.
where you can read those social cues, and there's no lag. There's no
Right.
accidentally talking over each other or
Yeah.
anything like that, because you're live
In the moment.
person, like you hear me real time.
Right.
And there's no lag here.
Yeah.
But there is a different thing. It's
Yeah.
a vibe.
It is a vibe for sure. I mean, again, there's something about going to a music festival versus listening on Spotify. There's
Yeah,
a
it's
difference.
not the same.
And, sometimes it's good to listen on Spotify, but sometimes you want to be there live, It's
Yeah.
like there's
I
something
was
about
talking with Rachel
energy.
about that earlier,
you know?
since we're both dancers and stuff like that, and
Right.
it's like you were always busting my balls about, well, why don't you just do a dance class on YouTube? It's not the same.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. There's no one to vibe with. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just watching this, and it's like, if I don't get it, yeah, I can rewind it. But there's something about being in a room
Yeah.
with other people learning that same dance, and you're just vibing off each other, and you're like hooting and hollering for each other, and it
The
gets
music is in
amped up.
yeah.
The music's loud.
You dress up for it type
Yeah,
of thing.
like,
Yeah.
You
I
just
get it.
vibe. It's a different thing. Like, I feel weird. Like, sometimes I'll be like, all right, well, instead of doing like an actual workout, maybe like a TikTok dance. They're usually pretty short, fairly simple most of the time. Some of them are really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But like, I even feel stupid doing those by myself because I'm like, I just feel like the vibe is not here. It's
Yeah.
just me. So like, I was laughing because I saw, which this is something that I would do, is she goes, this is a retired dancer marking it before she does full out. Do you know what that means?
Full
Mark-
out. No.
Marking it is like you're just like slowly doing the steps, but you're not like dancing it like full blown.
Oh, I get you.
So like you mark it just for like muscle memory, but you're not doing it like full out. And I was like, maybe I should do that, because then I don't really have to vibe or learn it fully, but
That's
I
true.
can just do the motions to where you know what I'm doing. I'm
Right.
not doing it full out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's going to be a new thing.
Yeah.
Retired dancer marking it before I do it full out. And that's my video.
That's fine. I like that.
But again, it's a vibe. Why
Yeah.
do it if I'm going to
Half-ass
mark
it.
it?
Yeah. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's true. So I think we're getting back to normal, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
No. This was horrible and I hated it.
It was fun. You loved it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, hopefully we can get you on more, because I enjoy having these conversations with you. Not that we don't have conversations off the air, but I like having these because I enjoy listening to them months from now, because it's funny to hear these conversations.
Hilarious.
Because, like we have done 3 or 4 of these, I think, or maybe more. It was one day during the pandemic that we watched like one of the first ones that we did together. And that was funny because we were talking about totally different things that we talk about now. And if you asked me how that conversation went, like today, I wouldn't remember. But because we recorded it, obviously, I could see it.
Spoken like a true millennial.
Well, I mean, memory's a funky thing because there's no proof, right?
I guess. I mean, the proof is in your memory.
Well,
Now, if other
That's not-
people don't accept that, that's on them.
but it's not proof, though. I mean, it's not proof.
So me telling you things like days, maybe even weeks in advance, and the day comes and I say, hey, we got to go at this time. You never told me that. Me telling you that is not good enough.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. That's not your memory. That's just you saying something
That's
that you
your
said.
memory.
But that's what I mean. There's no proof, right? That's the problem. Like, how great would it be if, let's just say, hypothetically, you recorded everything, video-wise. You recorded everything. And you said, hey, Tony, we got a dinner with so-and-so August 1st. Okay. And then 3 weeks later, August 1st comes around and I go, you didn't tell me that. Oh, really? And you show me the video. That's proof. That's my point with memory.
Noted. I will now be
Yeah.
videoing every time.
But it's kind of like an eyewitness. If something goes down at a crime scene or something, an eyewitness account, they don't really take a lot of that to heart when they take it to court, because what that eyewitness may have saw, but it's based off of what one person saw. And if no one else was around, you're taking the word off that one person. What if they're schizo? What if they're lying? What if they just decided to lie because they didn't like that person? Now you're going off that. I don't know. It's
a
funky
conversation
thing.
for another day.
Yeah.
Bye. It's been fun. There.
But anyway, this was fun.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Too deep. But no, thank you again, babe, for being on the show.
Welcome. Thanks for
And
having me
ladies
again.
ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to Drink Golden Ratio. Check out drinkgoldenratio.com. Use the code TheBarardo at checkout. You're going to get 10% off your entire order. It is your new favorite cup of coffee. Give it a shot. Tons of flavors. You got to like coffee to like this thing, because it tastes like coffee. So it doesn't taste like a sugary thing from Starbucks. It tastes like legit coffee, because it is. Right, babe? It doesn't taste like just oat milk, which is what you get at Starbucks. But drinkgoldenratio.com.
Don't be hating on me.
Again, use the code TheBarardo. But as always, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Thanks for all the love and support. We appreciate you. Everyone give my wife, Brenda Barardo, a nice little round of applause inside your vehicle.
I'll give it to myself.
There you go. She did a great job. Great job, babe. All right, that's all we got. Peace.